crafters, it's Jonna with Purple Girl Crafts. Today's card is a double flap card. This is a 5x7 card, and this is a Thanksgiving theme. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you're going to need is we're going to need to pull out our scoreboard. So the first piece is going to be the base of the card, and this is going to be 7x5. Next, we are going to need one piece that is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Then we will need one piece that is 4 by 4. And on one of the sides, we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. And only on one side. Next, we are going to need a piece that is 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. And again, we are going to score on one side only at the 1/2 inch mark. And these will eventually be folded down. Next, we are going to need a piece that is 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. And this is going to be the layer that goes on top of one of the panels. And then one piece that is cut at 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. And that'll be for the smaller one. Then we are going to need a pattern piece, and this is cut at 4 by 3 1/2. And then one piece at 2 3/4 by 3 1/2. And then you're going to need two strips that are cut at 1 inch by 5 inches. And then one piece that is 3 1/4 by 3 inches, and that's for the top of the card for the embellishment. So we are going to start putting this card together. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our base piece, which was 7x5, and we're going to put our layer on top. So we're just going to glue this to the bottom layer. Next, we're going to work on the two flaps. So we're going to take the two pieces that had the score marks. They're going to go in opposite directions, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to crease out those score lines. So we're going to work on the left side of the card, and we're just going to line this up. I'm going to grab our ruler and make sure we have about 1 1/4 inch left on each side. So I'm going to put glue just on that little flap. And then I'm going to glue it down. Now, if you use the glue, you have a room to move it just in case it's not even. But mine is dead centered even where it's supposed to be. So 1 1/4 inch left over on each side. Now for the other side, we're going to glue on the other side, on the right side of the card. And again, I'm going to try and line this up. This one you're going to have about 1.5 inches left over on each side. Now for this side, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the flap and I'm going to fold it backwards, apply glue, and then that way I know it's still lined up. You could have done that on the first side too, but I didn't think about it till we got to this side. Just make sure it's lined up with the edge, about 1.5 inches left, and then go ahead and just secure that down. And you can crease out your score lines one more time. Next, we are going to glue onto these two panels. Got some glue on there. So I'm going to grab the first layer. We're going to glue this down. And this will be the bigger of the two, and then the smaller one. And then we are going to add the pattern paper on top of that to each side. And now we are going to glue the last pattern piece on to the front panel. I'm going to turn the card and we are going to glue these 2 strips that we did. And these are just going to go lined up with the top and bottom of the card. So then on the inside, I do have a sentiment that says sending hugs. So we're going to add this just to the center of the card so that it is lined up and hides behind the 2 panels. And then I've got my little turkey that I'm going to add to the front. I'm not going to add any embellishments. I want to keep this card as flat as possible for shipping. I'm just going to put him directly in the center. And then I think I'm going to add some leaves just to give it just a little bit more embellishment. So I'm going to add leaves to the front, on the top and the bottom. Yeah, that one blends in too close. I'm not going to use those. I think I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut the stems off just to make them a little bit shorter. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue these onto the card. And again, make sure you don't get glue everywhere. As you can see, I am, and I'm trying to clean it off of there. Now for the bottom one, you kind of have to remember that when you're putting this down, not to put it too close to the edge because it will get in the way when you're opening your card. So you don't want it overhanging too much. And I'm actually using the bone folder just to make sure that I don't rip that leaf off. So next I'm going to add 2 pearls right to the center of the leaves on both top and bottom. And I also think I'm going to add some leaves just on the inside, just to carry out that pattern from the front. So we're going to put 2 at the bottom, and then only 1 at the top of the card. And remember, when you're doing your embellishments, before you glue them down, lay them down, see where they're at, see if you like them, move them around, because everybody's got different ideas, and make this card how you want it to look. So I like the way they look, just like that. So that's it. That's the card that we made today. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you had fun. This was a very quick card. It's easy to make, but it has a big wow factor. So until next time, happy crafting and see you real soon. Bye-bye.